So, hello everyone. So, I am Mafri. So, perhaps you already know me, but I'm going to share you about the data visualization by using R. So, basically, I'm going to deliver you one presentation materials for the first one, and then I'm also going to show you how we can use AI to make the process of the using R become easier. So first of all, I'm going to share my slides. So hopefully you can see it now. So I'm going to slideshow for now. And this is biological data visualization. I'm going to emphasize before we are using R for any kind of data visualization, I'm going to introduce you some steps that we need to conduct before we are using R. So this is the first one, the first slide, disclaimer. So sorry that I'm not an expert of R-based analysis and just users. I'm just a user that perhaps 2 years ago found that R is interesting. And also I'm not a statistician, but perhaps I know some kind of small statistical method or something like that because I'm doing my PhD, doing my master, but I'm not truly statistician. That's my disclaimer. So if you are looking other expert of R or statistician, please go somewhere. Okay, Panche asked me to deliver the how we can visualize the research data by using R, and here we go. Before we are using R, we need to know how about the data management. So this is the steps to obtain our data. The first one is getting the data, and then storing the data, and then analyze. So I'm not going into details, but I'm going to share to you some tricks. So you know about how to obtain your data based on different purpose of the research, different method to obtain the data. But basically all of the data need to be repeated. So perhaps 3 samples is not enough, but perhaps beyond 5 is good enough. But it also depends on the calculation of statistical method, how many samples we need to have in the minimal size if we are conducting some kind of research. You need to know about that. And how about we store the data? For example, we are using the Excel or perhaps in the Google Sheet or something like that. This is basically number related softwares. But there is limitation on using Excel, for example, on using Google Sheet, for example, because they then cannot be used to store a huge amount of data sets. So you can better use Notepad. This is simple, efficient, and can store a lot of number. And eventually, if you are talking about R, we basically mostly can use also the Notepad, the TXT base of storing the dataset. You can do that. It saves the storage in your disk, but it still contains the same amounts of data. And then how about to analyze? Yeah, it depends on your strategy on the obtaining the data, on your research designs. I don't know. You can use either which kind of statistical method. It's truly really depend on how you obtain the data. And then after these processes done, we can go into analysis and then data visualizations. Okay, before that, I'm going to give you some trick because our laptop is tend to, I don't know, stolen or damaged or something like that. Please store all your data set into cloud. Google Drive, OneDrive, Dropbox, or something like that. It surely make your safe space and then easily in your feeling, you already store your data in the cloud, and then it more safe than if you are only using in the store it in the computer or the flash drive. It's not safe. And how about statistic? Yeah, it's also giving me a headache. You can screenshot this page. This is basically cheat sheets for quick overview what kind of statistical analysis you can take. Please explore this by yourself. And how about how to visualize the data? So I asked in the past Copilot and also Search Lab, which is become Gemini AI today. I input the prompt. What is the key factors of data visualization? And then I ask Copilot and I ask Search Lab or Gemini. And then I combine these AI results into one summary. And let's see. For visualization, we need to check the audience and also purpose. Please visualize the data depend on your media. For example, you can show the tables containing the data in the document base, in the Word, in the Google Doc. You can easily put your table, the long one, there. But the tables, especially the long one, I think cannot be put into presentation media. The audience cannot see the detail of the tables because it's too long. So then you tend to make it smaller. Yep, depend on the audience and also purpose. If you are going to visualize your data in your thesis, just put as it is. But if you are going to visualize, if you are going to tell your story of your research to the elementary school students, you surely need to change your data presentation, make it easier. That's the purpose. And also, don't just only show the data. Please guide your audience through it. The good visualization make the data memorable and engaging. To reach this compelling story, you need to prioritize clarity and precision. Which kind of data you can show to the audience? Which part that is more important than others? For example, you tend in the end to put your all the data set in your thesis documents, but you cannot do that in the presentation. For example, in the seminar, you cannot do that. So please choose the main story, the data that can comply in this story in your journey of the research. For example, you have a long way journey of your research. This is your aim here, the goal, and then you have some kind of milestone to reach your goals. And for each milestone, you have a main data set. Show it. Show the milestone. Even though you have another data set you obtain during one milestone into another milestone. But please show the milestones. And then you can tell us the compelling story, the complete story, but still briefly, but still understandable to your audience. And this is kind of skills, the last one. Use designs elements, color, layout, and fonts to intentionally enhance readability and highlight key findings. And also if you are talking about color, so basically in this era, we cannot deny we can use a lot of color because the printing services is today is not limited into black and white. In the past, you can print in either black or white or gray or by using structure, what we call it? I don't know. Pattern in your, for example, bar chart. But now you can just go with color. And also, please think about the inclusivity, such as you are using the colorblind friendly color. Yeah, you can use that. You can check it in the internet. Which kind of the color that can be used, that it is safe for colorblind people to see that. That's a good smart design. And how to visualize the data? I'm not going to tell you all of the data that can be visualized. Basically, this is using R. Yeah, the R is very powerful. I don't know, software. The powerful software can be used to visualize all kind of data set. From the simple one, like the bar chart, pie chart, or something like that. We can use ggplot until the bioinformatics related data visualization. You can do it on R. And basically, you can check this page and then they show you suggestion. For example, if your data is category, which kind of the data visualization you can use. And how about if your data are relation, something like related relational, so you can check another data visualization here. Yeah, surely you can check this page. This is very useful. Depend on your data set, and then you have a choices. You have a choice which graph is better to show, to explain the story of my data set. And also you can check this R graphs gallery. This is another example. This is a lot of, so for example, this one is bar chart, and this is another chart that might be related to the bar chart, but with different visualization. These two can be used as guidance for you to check which kind of visualization you can build by using R, depending on your research dataset. Please check it. And also, this is a good example from this page. This is show us caveats. For example, if you are using bar chart for this kind of data, what kind of the main things? What kind of, oh, it should be not by using bar chart. In this page, they show us that. Please check it by yourself. I'm not going into detail in this part. So this is just, it should be quiz. If you are meeting offline, who can guess what's wrong with me? Please take a moment to think what kind of mistakes or what you can add into this kind of bar chart. Please think it in 1 minute and you can write it down in your, I don't know, paper or something like that. Please, 1 minute. One minute. Nope. It looks good, but you can add something here to make it more appealing, to make it more telling us the story. Yep. Okay. 1 minute, I think, more or less. More or less. So this is the answer. The answer is simple. You can add it, the asterisk. It indicates the statistical differences between treatment A and also B. Please think about that when you are building your bar chart. So here you can learn from this graph. The graph is clear enough to be seen. It's completely different between A and B, and you can also see the error bar. Please be careful when you are using the automatic error bar making in the Excel features. Please check in the internet. So it should be different, not the same, because this set of data coming from A should be different than B. That's why the error bar should be different. And this is have different color, but still in this gray area, you can easily spot the error bar. So this is a good one. And it also, this asterisk told us about the differences between A and B. It's statistically significant. Perhaps you can add some information in the figure titles such as what kind of statistical methods, statistical analysis for using. So you can surely put this asterisk. For example, t-test, you just need to put the explanation here. And so you can also put the number of samples here in the figure titles. That's the answer. Yeah, how to create this one, just edit. But how to count, how to analyze that, you can go in this very simple website. You can put your data set here, and then you can get the statistical significance. We are not doing R here in this case. Yeah, this is the highlight of you can do. You can see what kind of elements, tick mark, or font type, or color that can make a one graph is good enough, understandable enough by reader. Yes, you need to have creative, so imagination is only the way. Please imagine that people read your data set and then you can build based on that. Oh, if some people perhaps this is too difficult, the bar chart is so many, you need to think about another chart. As simple as that. And before I'm going to explain to you R, so this is unexpected tools for data visualization for storing dataset. I already mentioned about Notepad or text edit in Mac or other Excel-like open source software. So Excel is Office one, so there is a lot of open source softwares similar like Excel. And for analysis, if you are really much to SPSS, for example, you can also check the web-based analysis or just advanced calculator. You can check in the perhaps in the phone, yeah, or in the website application or something like that. And for visualization, you can always use Excel if that is enough, or RStudio, or here I introduce to you another alternative. This is Orange Data Mining. So please check it by yourself. This is good enough alternative for of RStudio. And if you are going to kind of combine some kind of data, for example, this bar chart, it will make a good story if this bar chart can be combined with another pie chart, for example. So this bar chart, this pie chart can be produced by Excel or RStudio. You can export it into image file, JPEG or PNG, and then you can put it together into PowerPoint, arrange it as you like to tell the audience a better story instead of separating the data presentation one. So two together can be compelling enough, can be used as a new way to tell the audience new stories. You can always use PowerPoint to arrange those kind of method of visualization. And also you need to check the newest R package or free trial software. You can always do that. Yep, that's the data visualization. And then I'm going to show you this. For advanced visualization, you can always rely on R. So this Shiny apps-based visualization is also R-based. And do not forget to color blindness friendly coloring. And eventually, if you are working with a big amount of data, molecular or something like that, big data, you can always use bioinformatics tools. This is the big data analysis. And the challenge now is for advanced visualization, like here, is mostly use R or Python based. And also sense of art is kind of needed because you put a lot of data, you need to think about visualization. And those big data is not easy to make the reader convinced what is the content, what is the story between inside this data analysis. So you need to think that sense of art. It means that you need also think about layouting, which kind of data that can be put side by side into another data set. That's for example. So sense of art. Yeah, are you ready? You should be ready because nowadays a lot of publication. Perhaps if you have a lot of data set, it's better to use R. A lot of good publication eventually ask the author to make the graph in R because eventually um, kind of the Excel is outdated. Yeah, please learn R. But I already provide you the alternative of R. So please you can also check those kind of alternatives. The most important thing is I don't know which tools you can learn now to visualize your data, but as long as the visualization of your data is good enough to tell the reader the story of your research, it's good. No need to rely 100% to art. That's my suggestion. Okay, and then I'm going to show you how we can easily use AI to us help us manage our data, to help us visualize our data. Here I'm going to share your screen so you can see my works. Yeah, this is our studio. Please download it by yourself and try to learn to use it. So the R and R Studio is kind of different. This R Studio is based on the R. So you need to install two things, the R itself and also the R Studio. Please Googling it by yourself. Okay, and then I'm going to show you a simple things. This is the, what we call it, interface. The interface of R Studio. So basically you have this, for example, if you put some data here, there is a changes in this part. This is my data, so it show in this part. And this is, in this part here, you can type your code. Yeah, the R is based on code, but AI coming, so you can ask the AI to write the code, but you need to have the data. So the first thing you need to learn is the data structure. You can always put directly your data set into R by some kind of code. Please ask your AI. For example, I'm going to ask AI now how to input a data set. For example, plant height between treatment A and B directly into R. Please make dummy data set based on that and suggest me the code. I don't know the code or what. And also the package needed. So basically you need to know about the data structure, that's the first one. And then you need to know what kind of package you can use to analyze or to visualize your data. But you always can ask AI. So here, let's see. Yeah, the AI will give you answer depend on your internet. Yeah, this one. So it should be create a dummy data. You can input data directly by using function from base R. No package needed. Yeah, you can learn about that. You can always learn about this one. Highly recommended. And yeah, how to write the code. Please, you can see here, if you are going to use tidyverse, which is one kind of package, you can input this one, copy or select and copy, and then put in your RStudio. Paste, enter, blah, 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 blah. And then eventually the RStudio will install this tidyverse. Blah, 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 blah. Finish. Yeah, finish. And then you can create data frame. This is the dummy data. So this is basically a column A and B, and then this is the data set. For example, the plant head. So you can always copy this one. So the RStudio will ignore something started with this hashtag. So they will process only this one. But you can copy this and then put it here, enter. This is your data. This is your data. And then blah, blah, blah. The output is like this, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm going to ask, what kind of data visualization suitable for this kind of data? First, please suggest the statistical analysis and then data visualization. Yeah, I will eventually understand this. Alright, the code. Just like that. Let's see. Suggesting statistical tests. Choosing our package and also test recommended. Blah blah blah. This is show. So it required package name tidyverse. That's the first thing. And then this is based on the dummy dataset. And then for statistical analysis, it can use two sample t-tests. You can see the, what we call it, the explanation of this test here. And then how about the code? To perform, just write and type this code. And then this is for the output. Example. So when this is already run into RStudio, you can see something like this. Blah, 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 blah. This is much smaller than 0.05. So this is a significant difference between treatment A and treatment B. So you have the statistical analysis, you have the asterisk. And then for data visualization, this AI suggests us to use ggplot for making, I don't know, let's see, box plot and jitter plot. So blah, 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 this is the code. And this is, you can choose the theme, and also you can specify what the name, the title of the X and Y axis in this part, and then display the result of that. So let's see. Can I copy this one? Okay. After I install the package, I need to call those package library tidyverse. And then let's see. Let's recreate. Okay. Let's see. Can it being copied? I don't know. And blah blah blah. Basically, you can check it by yourself, and then just need to copy and then paste in the RStudio. But I'm going to show you directly this one. Can we do that? Can we do that? Okay. Mm, 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 mm. No, it's need a long time, but you can always try by yourself. But basically, for this one, it suggests us to use box plot and jitter plot. So this is will be going like this: box plot and jitter plot. This is an alternative. Instead of using bar chart, you can use a box plot with jitter. So let's see if I can explain it to you by Microsoft Whiteboard. Yeah. Go. Okay. I think I can use this one. Okay, start with blank canvas. Okay, basically you can always ask the AR code into your AI and then copy paste it into your RStudio. And then your data set should be like this. AB, this is data. I don't know. This is the treatment, and this is the perhaps plant height or something like that. And then we already asked the statistical analysis, which is the t-test. And then we asked the AI about the visualization. And then instead of, because I'm also thinking by visualize this kind of data by using the simple bar chart, perhaps like this. This is A, this is B. So basically like this is very simple. But instead of using this bar chart, the AI suggests us to using box plot. So basically like this. So for example, this is A, this is B. This is the box plot. You already know about this one. So instead of using the average, so basically this one is average, right? So this one is also average, but I don't know. You can always set up your box plot by put it as median or average. You can always change those kind of option. And this box plot with jitter. What is the jitter means? It means the data set. So for example, the graph will look like this. So this is the dots that corresponds to one data. So for example, you have here the repeat number n is 20. So here in the A, you can see the small dots here. We call it jitter. If we count it, it should be 20. So this is the position of one dataset into the whole dataset. It means a lot. You can explore it, what jitter means actually in statistical way. Yep, that's all for today. You can think about what kind of visualization you can imagine to present your dataset. And then you can always ask AI to help you analyze your data. But please consider by learning by yourself, you need to know the structure of how RStudio works, what kind of format or something that we needed to know. For example, how we can input the data into R. That's the most crucial things. And then what kind of package we can use for any, uh, for example, for data analysis or data visualization. You can always check. Ask your internet, ask your RStudio to help you learn, and eventually you will get grasp the understanding how the RStudio really works. That's my suggestion. Please try by yourself. Learn is always worth, even though the learning course might be different. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you very much and see you.